adventure in the Four Keeps, Winter Part 1. Today is November 9th, 2020, and you are loved. And that is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the games in this show that we have done up until this point. And we also have things like Waterdeep, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Curse of Strahd, and soon to be also Rime of the Frostmaiden after we are done with our Tomb of Annihilation, which should be done in the next, I want to say month or so, because that's when, 3 weeks is what we got working with on that one. So, hey, prepare to check that one out. And if you are interested in checking out the show, but you don't want to dedicate your time sitting in front of a computer, you'd rather be out doing stuff, I completely understand. Hey, guess what? We're also available in audiocast format. That means that you can go towards anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. You can find us there under the same moniker. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can find our after show being hosted there called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to drop us that question in either the Discord chat to the side, or you can join us on Discord. We have questions for the court set up. You can just post them in there, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But if you already support us on Patreon, you already support us on Twitch, YouTube, audiocasts, all of those other places, and you're trying to figure out another way that you can help support the show, have I got a website for you. If you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, journals, clocks, shower curtains, and most importantly right now, we also do have our Tia masks, our face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, done by our very own Cyberwolf 1201, and all of the proceeds of each of the face masks that we get ends up going to help the COVID-19 vaccine research through Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help us through the researching bits, feel free to do that as well. It's an awesome time. I just realized through the layout that LB and RJ are flipped, but that won't stop me from starting our intro the way that it's supposed to be. So, hey, RJ, who are you playing tonight?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, and tonight I'll be playing Caelum, the Shadowkai Wizard Cleric.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp, and I'll be playing Gwen, the Halfling Barbarian Fighter.
Hoi, I'm Cyber. I play Arjhan, the Draconian Fighter, he/him.
Hi everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I'm going to be playing as Coriander, the Eldrin Paladin.
And I am the Indoor Adventurer, and tonight I shall be your Dungeon Master. So, last we left off, your group had just gotten done communicating with Scorchbane the Comet while still on the Isle of Summer, and requested his backup for assistance on the Isle of Autumn, while you were in the process of recharging the Ring of Wryth. It was at that point that you used the rest of your Windwalk spell to traverse the open skies between these two isles, and eventually made your way there, then finding your way to the small town of Duskridge, where Cori's lodging was presented as an option for you guys to stay at. While within this lodging, you met up with a dusk hag, a figure known as Sister Solana, who had been asked by the Mother Matron to help out your party in any way that she could. It was at that point that Caelum decided that he was going to enter into a two-person coven with this hag sister, and that worked about as swimmingly as you might expect it. However, the following, after about an hour or so of waiting in this place, or I think you guys actually took a long rest in this area, you then made your way to the ritual area so that way you could regain the powers of the Ring of Wryth. It was at this point that Cori entered into a ritual trance while the rest of you fought off the forces of winter as they tried to assail you. However, you're pretty fucking strong now, so it really wasn't as difficult as it was made out to be, with a lot of you being able to, again, kind of clear off these Winter Eladrin as they made their way forward. It was at that point that the ritual completed, the ring was able to be fully charged, and at that you saw that there were these 4 iced over streams that had been running into the center of this ritual zone. Those streams began to glow with a golden vibrance as autumn returned to this spot within the Feywild. As the episode ended, we watched as Scorchbane off in the distance began a, scorched earth policy, laying down a rain of fire as he continued to fly by. As he is, and this is where we are picking up, for as you are watching him lay down this fire, you also see that there is almost what looks like ash falling behind him, but it is a glowing greenish glimmering ash, which doesn't really line up with the more grayish color that you are used to seeing ash. And you realize and remember one of the things that you had asked Scorchbane to do was to team up with Caelum of the Deep, this sentient fungal creature, where he would then help to repollinate the area with these fungal spores. And it seems like those glowing bits trailing off of Scorchbane are indeed just that. And as this area is coming into fruition, returning back to its autumn form, the ground begins to shake a little, and you can hear what sounds like trees breaking off in the distance as from where you stand, you can see a massive, if not titanic mushroom begin to grow from the depths of the forest floor upward. And as Scorchbane continues to make his travels around around this area that you guys are in, more of these mushrooms begin to grow upwards and upwards until it creates a almost a dome-like shelf above you. Winter is the snows of winter are no longer able to actually come down and land on the ground, and it seems like the heat that Scorchbane has brought has actually begun the process of melting all of this excess snow at an expedited process. Even though there are some of these trees and a lot of this foliage that has caught fire, the fires begin to cease as they reach a point of dampness from the overall, melting snow. And as the smoldering smoke begins to rise, you see that it is actually going up into the gill-like vents on the underside of these large mushroom caps, and they are actually being recycled into a much more healthy air situation. So even though it did look like Scorchbane was, doing a heckin' war crime, things are growing still. Things are creating a barrier in a sense that, you are protected in this area. Also, most importantly, the Ring of Wryth has been recharged. And after about, I want to say, 20 minutes or so, Scorchbane actually will fly over towards your group and will land relatively near where you all are, having followed the trail of these glowing golden rivers back to their source, being this center point. And as they arrive down onto the ground, you see that their lower back half is covered in what looks like fungus, and they kind of shake off a little bit as those spores then go onto the ground and then collect and grow, and Caelum is there as well, this large mushroom-like figure.
Is that healthy?
And Caelum just Caelum nods, and Scorchbane just sort of looks at it and shakes his back leg, and a little bit more comes off. He continues to try and just shake it off of him. He said that it would come off in time.
It looks fine. I don't think that looks... No, it doesn't look infected or anything, so you should be good, dude. Good job.
And Scorchbane just sort of laughs to himself a little bit. I said I would help protect this place. Is it now not protected?
Is it?
Yes. The voice in the sky say yay.
Okay.
Snow will no longer be able to fall here now that Caelum and I are on the job.
Okay. Cori, what's that next move?
I think Cori is sort of reeling from the amount of power that she's just absorbed. And she just looks up at Arjhan and then kind of shakes herself out of it. Next is going to Winter then. We need to press this advantage.
Are you okay, Cori?
You look like you have been through a little bit of, how you say, trauma? Something
Yeah.
not all right in there? Do you need to take a rest? I feel like this is probably one of the best places to take rest. These mushrooms are
Like,
huge.
how
Who
does-
are you?
How does Cori feel after having taken on Wryth? I mean, like, physically.
Physically, it's like being done with a... Cori wants to be a Caelum. That is all that she has wanted to be for so long. You just got done with the interview process.
Okay.
So imagine you just got done with an interview process at a big people job that you've wanted for a long time, and you're feeling good about it, but like it's hard not to just feel exhausted after having like ball of anxiety for however long.
All right. I think she takes a few steps, and then she'll just kind of sidestep a little bit and sit down on like a cobble wall, and she just takes a deep breath and sighs. She looks down at the ring, and she's like, "This is a relief."
Well, I should say so. It's no longer snowing outside. Thank you, big mushroom person. And thank you. What is your name?
Scorchbane!
Thank you, Scorchbane. This again looks good place to sit. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you take a rest, Cori? I'm gonna I don't know what to do, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna not be right here, and I'm gonna go talk to Scorchbane. She wanders off.
Okay. So if you guys would like, you can take a short rest. It's been too recent that you wouldn't be able to take another long rest. But there is an attunement process that is required with the Ring of Wryth, so that would require a short rest. Scorchbane, Gwen, as you come up to them, they are in the process of speaking with Caelum. And they look towards you and say,
Small one,
Large one.
you did well to bring me to this place. I have no rivals.
And you're right. You're definitely the biggest of us all.
and he kind of preens a little bit.
So, how do you feel about God damn it, I can't think of anything but the Raven Queen, the Dragon Queen, the
Tiamat?
Tiamat. What's her other name?
Aura.
How do you feel about Tiamat?
And that's it. Scorchbane says,
I have been out of contact for quite some time. This is my home now.
Okay. Well, if you want to talk to her, we have a connection.
kind of like shakes his head a little bit, like, what the fuck you mean you're in her DMs?
Oh, yeah, no,
Literally
we talked-
introduced myself
Yeah.
as the Herald of the Skill of Tyrant.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I would say.
Hey, it's never too late to like go talk to someone if you haven't talked to them in a while. You just have to reach out, you know? Like even just a hey, what's up? How you been? Is enough sometimes, you know?
And Scorchbane just like blinks at you. What?
You know, like if you don't talk to someone for a long time and then you go back, like it's never awkward unless you make it awkward. So I mean, if you want to talk to her, I would talk to her because she's pretty cool.
Are you a follower?
Oh no, gods, no, my god would kill me. No, she's cool though. I mean, we're chill. We met her. Well, we met one of her.
You have met the queen.
Well, one of the heads, yeah.
Which head?
Is it the black one?
It was.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
The black one.
You are full of surprises. You and your group.
Just saying, if you want it in, we know a guy. I know a guy. He's right there.
And
Points
like
Arjhan.
Scorchbane, like you can see also like lifts a giant red paw and like points towards Arjhan.
We're just both pointing at Arjhan.
Arjhan is napping under a mushroom.
Aw.
Sleepy mushroom naps.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps I will have him speak for me. On my behalf.
Yeah, totally. Hey, would it be rude if I asked if you had like a spare, like, you know, it probably is, but I don't know, so I'm gonna ask it anyways. Do you have a spare scale that I could just like put on my back?
And he like looks at his whole person.
I can lose one and think nothing of it.
That'd be awesome.
And he kind of like pulls one from like the base of his wingy where they're a little bit softer anyways, and will pull it out and then just set it in front of you. And it is you, like you are the size of this scale. The scale is probably bigger.
Dude, fucking sweet. Thank you, man. I shall carry it with pride.
As you should. Remember
all-
who gave you this boon.
Yeah, all shall fear Scorchbane.
Yes!
And he like stands on his hind legs, breathes fire into the air. It's more of like a showy fire. He's not like burninating the roof above.
Gwen flexes with him. All right, thanks. Like takes it and like waddles away.
Kasen is in the process of like, you see tendrils extend from their fingertips onto the spores that are on the back of Scorchbane, and the spores are like lessening, going back onto Kasen. All right, so yeah.
Caelum's talking to Solana.
So how did you feel? I have never felt more powerful and full of pomp and vigor than I have being by your side. We should do this more often.
I feel like my connection to the weave whenever I'm close by you has been severed completely, utterly.
What? That
It
sounds
sucks.
ridiculous.
It sucks quite a bit.
That does not sound like a fun time. I, however, feel like I've never been closer to the weave.
Well,
So you're saying you want to back out, is that it? You don't want to be twins anymore?
let's find a third and try this again sometime.
Not to me, but fine.
It's not you, it's me.
No, I've
Quite
heard this
literally,
before. It's
me.
okay. This is not my first coven. This is not my first coven.
I do appreciate you helping me in this endeavor, Solana.
The
And
damage is
I
already
do
done.
wish...
You have already hurt me in more ways than you could ever know.
I apologize.
I'm just playing with you. It's all right. But there is the matter of the contract. Don't know how you're going to get out of that one unless you have somebody who's willing to take it over for you. Sign someone else onto the coven.
I'll keep a lookout for them. But for the time being, if I were to come back to this, would you allow me to contact you?
Yeah.
He'll extend a hand out to her.
Yeah. She'll take your hand and give it a like hand grasp and then over it, and she'll just give you a very kind shake.
Oh, this is gonna suck. And he'll walk over to Cori.
And Cori, you are in the process of attuning to the Ring of Wryth, so you can add that to your character sheet, as I have made it an item in D&D Beyond, under the name Ring of Wryth.
I see here.
How you holding up?
I don't know. I've wanted this for so long. It's strange to finally have it.
Well, when you get the chance, maybe you should try and flex a little bit. Make sure you have a feel for the power. Don't go willy-nilly overcharging things.
All right. Well, first things first, let me get to know it a bit.
After that, do you mind helping me get out of contract?
What do you mean exactly?
So the only way to actually either get out of this contract is to find a third, or someone has to die.
I see.
Hmm.
Well, I'm not going to kill you, if that's what you're asking for.
Oh no, you're not gonna. I can do that myself.
She just glares at you. You're looking for a third. Because if you're looking for me, I'm afraid it's going to be 4. And she just kind of points at the ring.
I wonder if that works through dimensions. Spellbook.
Out of character, this is a fantastic deal for Solana.
Yep.
She's just getting so much power.
She's having a great time. It's like a festival.
I can do that on the next long rest.
Caelum's wording is, albeit a bit drastic and morbid, but she's having a great time.
Well, I do have a couple of candidates in mind for a third.
I'm listening.
Well, if amenable, maybe McCoff. Or Hotterai. He's trying to I'm trying to remember Prescott, maybe? Let's gonna offer him something.
Good luck trying to get Prescott into that. You might as well ask Damien.
Oh. He looks like he considers it.
She just raises her eyebrows at him. What about Amaris?
Let me level with you here. In a coven, they all, everyone shares power, and not to say anything, but that's a lot of power going to one hag.
Fair enough.
I was thinking for a while, maybe I'll try and reestablish the Silver Quill.
Wouldn't be a bad starting point.
Well, hopefully Solana won't be traveling with us. I'll be able to use my magic. It's weird, this 2/3 contract. just cuts off a portion of my feeling for the weave.
Do you regret doing it?
No. I mean, I always think about what's the worst that could happen. In the sense of worrying about what's the worst that can happen.
So that you're prepared for that. And then you're pleasantly surprised when the worst doesn't happen.
More or less.
Cori looks thoughtful for a moment. And she's just going to kind of lie back on the cobblestone wall and look up through the trees at the sky. And she'll say, when I went under and the forces of winter faced you, did you see him?
Oh, we saw a lot of him. Not actual him, but like maybe simulacrum, maybe clones.
She holds her hand up so that she can look at the ring while she's talking. How did he seem?
A lot like me.
Well, that's how he looked, but how was he?
Robotic? Not robotic. What's another descriptor like that?
Cold?
I'm leaving.
But it's true, though.
It was, no pun intended, cold.
No, that sounds like him.
Wasn't like he was all there.
No, that doesn't sound like him. If nothing else, he was always present.
Well, now that we have the Ring of Fall in our grasp, we can see what we can do to take him on. Though I am hurting, like a lot.
She, like, just tips her head to look at him sideways. Was that a tough fight?
I feel like they were targeting me, to be honest.
I wish I could have been there. I mean, I was there. I wish I could have done something.
You had your task, we had ours. That's the wrong one.
I'll be able to help next time.
Yeah, that would be very appreciated. He'll lean back on the cobble with her, take his short rest.
All right. Cori's going to try and attune to the Ring of Wryth.
You are able to do so. Wryth has accepted you as its wearer, so attuning is no difficult process. Okay.
Gwen just comes like trotting up with a huge, looks like a shield above her head. Guys. Douche.
Nice.
Oh.
You let me have it.
Maybe we can get it made into a shield or something.
Yeah. Or I could ride it as a sled.
Ooh.
That's...
No, that's about the right size.
Is that disrespectful?
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to wear it on my back. I'm going to wear it above my back. Will you help me tie it to my back?
Okay.
It's like, so that Gwen can walk, it's like at least a foot taller than her.
Which also means it's like a foot lower as well. So we will
No,
be
no, no,
scraping.
no. So she moved it. Like, it's not centered on her back. It's slightly
offset
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's
Is
just
that
like
gonna
it.
work with your axes?
Well, I mean, I'll take it off if we get into combat.
I mean, just walking.
No. They might clang a little bit, but like I'm already not that stealthy, so.
What do you want to do with this dragon scale?
Well, I thought our friend could turn it into something cool for me.
Kendek. She means
Kendek,
Kendek.
thank you. What?
Back?
I couldn't hear you. What?
Should we try to send it back? Is that
Can we do that?
maybe?
read a
I don't
spell?
know. I don't know.
Wait, is that how you spell it? Cori. No, that's. Is Galder's a 7th level spell? I thought I picked that up. Speedy Courier. Where is it? Oh, I guess that is a 7th level spell. Whoops. If I was a little bit stronger, I probably would. But maybe we can send it over to Cori's dad.
Like on this plane of existence?
Yeah, by the time we get back to him, he's probably going to be finished with something.
Okay.
Wait,
Sorry, Arjhan.
are we retreating now?
That's entirely up to Cori.
No, we should press the advantage. If we want to send anything back to my father, then I can summon Ambleforth and, well, he started his career as a courier. I suppose he could continue it.
I think I have a sugar cube. Does he like sugar cubes?
He absolutely loves sugar cubes. How did you know?
Cause he's a horse?
It's not a horse.
Not a horse.
Not a horse, no.
He looks like a horse from the fucking knees down, okay? Do you know how much energy it takes me to look up at people? Okay?
Evidently it takes energy to look down too. He's got cloven hooves.
Horses have that too. I've just been around RX for the last, like, I don't know, like 20 years of my life, okay? Let's move on.
Okay, so you also know, just throwing this out there, typically when you send things back to your dad, it was a difference between material plane and
yeah.
Feywild.
I'm
So
expecting this
summoning
to
a
take
Fey
longer.
horse and then just like, all right, go back to dad. It will take time.
Exactly.
Yes.
But Ambleforth can fly, so
It's true.
I'm expecting it to take more time.
Find Greater Steed allows the summoned steed to have a fly speed.
Indubitably.
Yes. LB was looking at me with an incredulous face, so I just wanted to lay that out on the table as to why that was a thing that could happen.
Okay, good, because my brain went, could they always do that? Did I
No.
forget that?
No.
No, that's
This
this
was only
recent thing.
since- Yeah, pretty sure it's only since level 13.
So,
Yeah.
you guys are wanting to go to Winter, take on all of this. At this point, Solana will approach you. And Caelum, once again, you just feel like your draw on the weave just shrunk off. And she says, so it looks like you've done everything here that you needed to do, except maybe getting some more rest in. I feel you look a little beat up. But, so what is next on your agenda? Are you going, you said that you are going to Winter. How do you plan on taking care of this? Are you planning on going overseas or taking another means? What is your plan?
Looks at Cori.
There are passageways that stretch between winter and, well, fall and fall to summer. It would be through the Feydark. It's not exactly the most hip hop and happening place. It's not a discotheque, but it is a place where, you know, you could at least avoid the snow.
It's perfect, actually. It's the last thing that you would expect.
Or the first.
Regardless, we wouldn't have to go overseas. And he has the advantage there.
I doubt going by air is any safer.
Cori nods.
Solana, what exactly do we need to prepare for in the Feydark?
Well, Feydark has goblin kingdoms. You might want to look out for those. Then there, of course, there are the Under Eladrin. They are not too happy about a lot of things that went down on the surface, so they have kind of been down there for a while stewing on things. Then, of course, there are Fomorians, if you are familiar with them. They are also, again, not too keen on things that happened on the surface a long, long time ago. Very upset about the most part. You don't have to worry about Vanikas. It seems like the Navigator of the Deep went to Summer some time ago, so she has left this general area.
And
We'll never have to worry
probably-
about her again, actually.
Oh, ask us Agnes. That's wonderful. Wunderbar indeed. Well, if that's the case, then you don't have to worry about a big fuck-all spider down there. So I'm guessing that it would probably just be, well, again, giants, if you're familiar with them, goblins, monsters, things that go bump in the night.
In our worst nightmares?
Oh, possibly.
We already killed our nightmare, so I think we're okay.
What? You people have been through quite an ordeal.
We didn't
Caelum.
kill him, though, right? We didn't kill the night. We definitely didn't do that.
They are still around.
Solid.
Cam will lean over to Gwen. By the way, the Fomorians are what kind of gave you the hunchback and bum leg.
Are we gonna go kill them?
We might face some.
Good. I want to kill more.
So, seems like you are all pretty gung-ho about going through the Feydark. That is the case. I know of one entrance. There's not one in Duskridge, yes?
Feydark, as in, like, is it pitch black down there all the time?
Well, some places, other places, Casenis from there, luminous lichen, you know, things that help make it illuminated, but for the most part, yes, it's very dark.
They have light up werewolves down there?
Some, yes, as well as, you know, like mushroom lichen, moss, but like grows on rocks instead of like trees and things.
I'm sorry, I'm not an arborist.
That's okay.
You've never won any awards.
Ripped Stimpus.
Over 100 episodes, BB!
If you can give me a day or two, I could probably alleviate the whole dark vision thing for you, Gwen.
I mean, I'm cool as long as you guys point me in the right direction. I'm not too worried about it. I trust you guys.
How far is this entrance?
Well, we would have to go to the Caelin's Bridge. So it's kind of a port town on the edge of autumn, like where if you were going to winter, you would probably want to set out from there. As far as I know, that is one of the few places that does still have an opening to the Feydark. Now, be warned, there were magic wards in place in Caelin's Bridge, preventing Fomorians from coming out, but since everybody kind of had to skedaddle on out from Caelin's Bridge when winter came in, I don't know what the current situation there is. As far as I was aware, last I checked, it was a little bit of a shite show.
So, are you saying that it's possible that there are going to be Fomorians there?
That is correct.
It's nothing haven't had to deal with before.
Wunderbar. It sounds like you are, well, pretty well equipped to handle the situation, yeah?
She looks down at her ring and she says, "If I'm not well equipped now, then there is no hope at all." Sorry, I thought that would sound a lot more encouraging in my head.
That sounded pretty dour.
We can do this.
Achtung, well then, give yourself some time. Would you like any snacks? And once you have said snacks, then I can lead you there. It's fine. Mr. Scorchbane and Kessen, as I've learned his name as well, what's their name as well, can still give backup, put more of these large mushrooms places, make sure that your pathway is well kept up, if that makes sense.
That would be appreciated.
Good. Well, in that case, just let me know whenever you're ready to head out, and me and my scarecrows, we can lead the charge.
Excellent. Caelum, how long do you need?
It depends on what we want made. I can't find the right item.
Are you looking for goggles of night vision?
Yes. It's either
I think it's called Goggles of Night.
For eyes of night.
Yeah.
Nightcaller, Nightblade, Nighthag. Goggles of Night. It is an uncommon item. I can either make Goggles of Night, which would give Gwen some dark vision, or maybe a drift globe, shed some light.
Yeah, whatever's. I mean, like Gwen said, she's comfortable with you guys leading her around or whatever.
Don't you guys
The
also have
problem
an,
is seeing for combat.
Don't you guys also have an ever-burning torch?
Oh yeah, we do.
Oh yeah. We're
But
good.
the night vision goggles would mean that we don't give off light.
That is also true.
All right, but every time I put them on, I'm making the sound.
Can you physically make the sound? She has an app. Got it.
What is the sound?
Maybe 2 days at best, or at most.
Listen, take your time.
Cori looks to Arjhan and Gwen. Will 2 days be enough to make the preparations that you need?
Yeah, I guess.
I think we're both ready to go whenever you are.
All right, then let's call it 2 days.
Okay. During these following 2 days, unless directed otherwise, Kessen and Scorchbane are going to team up and continue creating a mushroom cap cover for the Isle of Autumn, as well as kind of like doing a flyby towards the Caelen's bridge, to also kind of create this more mushroom style cover for your path as well, to mitigate any potential hazards that would be along the way.
All right. I think that Cori would actually, like, over the next 2 days, she would take a few walks around the island. Just kind of... She won't get too far away from the rest of the group, but she's kind of assessing the damage.
The damage, from what you can see... Are you looking for, like, damage to nature or damage to homesteads?
Both.
So damage to nature, slightly unavoidable, given Scorchbane and Kessen's relationship. They are doing their best to leave as large swaths of forest as they can, but they are still going to be creating effectively like defensive lines that then these mushrooms will be able to grow out of, so they can crosshatch over and prevent snowfall from coming down. So roll a D100 for me.
Okay. That is 91.
91. All right. So a significant amount of forest is still intact. It seems like, while from a distance, Scorchbane just doing a lay on of fire is a very evocative image for mass destruction, but it seems like, being the ancient dragon that he is, he's very tactical with how he has laid this out, and the majority of the woods are actually still intact. Sadly, though, a lot of the inner, like Dusk Ridge itself, a lot of roofs have caved in due to heavy snowfall. Some doors are kind of busted up. As you're traversing through, these scarecrows are all just like giving you big waves. It seems like they have been created to be cordial to passerbys, at least your group. And thankfully, with this, again, mushroom cover and with the heat that is being generated by Scorchbane, a lot of the snow is melting, and you're starting to see the land return to the way that it was, especially near the point of power that you were able to recharge Wryth with.
All right. Cool. Yeah. Now she spends most of the day just kind of walking the aisle. And I think she finds herself kind of sad because of how empty it is. But she returns each night to her friends.
Okay.
I think at some point she'll spar with Arjhan.
Okay.
Essentially have him fire arrows at her while she deflects them.
Oh, I have to use actual arrows for this. Okay, hold on. He goes significantly slower than you've seen him.
Like he's holding back?
No, like if I'm using physical arrows, I can only shoot once per action.
Gotcha. Alright. She deflects a few of them with her sword, and then eventually she basically calls up a windstorm. It picks up a bunch of autumn leaves, and she says, use the crossbow.
I am using the crossbow.
Are you meaning the non-arrows crossbow, the one that just
Yes.
shoots energy bolts?
Yes.
All right.
Alright. She'll use an investiture of wind to assist her in deflecting these.
Sweet deal.
How's that work with force?
So investiture of wind. Would you like to read that for the class?
Sure. Until the spell ends, wind whirls around you and you gain the following benefits. Ranged weapon attacks made against you have disadvantage on the attack roll. You gain a flying speed of 60 feet. And you use your action to create a 15-foot cube of swirling wind centered on a point you can see within 60 feet of you. Each creature in that area must make a Constitution saving throw. The creature takes bludgeoning damage, gets pushed away from the center of the cube, etc., 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 etc.
All right. So you would just have disadvantage on your shots.
Okay, so if my first attack was a 27.
At disadvantage?
Yes.
Okay, cool. You blast her out of her.
Arjhan has probably like a +10 to hit.
You
I have a
blast her out of her
13.
wind.
Oh.
She flies into a pile of leaves.
Ooh.
Do you want to do this in the air? That might hurt a lot.
She comes out of the pile laughing, and she's like, "Okay, let's do that again."
Arjhan flies up.
All right. The two of them are gonna
Concentration
train
check.
Super Saiyan style.
You both fly up.
24.
Yep.
22.
Yep.
19.
No. Her her armor, or rather her flying shield catches it this time.
That was a 6 on the die.
That's hilarious. Oh, the rest of you are ready for this.
The other was
Cori's
an
gonna get her
18.
ass handed to her.
Gwen has started like taking bets. Is anyone else around?
Solana is. Caelum has shooed her away from trying to help him with anything magical. She feels like she's more than willing to be able to help out, but again, he can't do magic when she's around.
Yeah. I think Gwen is like she's keeping a list, like a tally every time Cori gets knocked down or Cori deflects it. And she's just kind of eating popcorn watching.
There is a plethora of pop-ed corn here in fall. That is for sure.
Oh no.
Sounds right.
And Solana will actually ask, are you like taking it down for bets, statistical information? Or
I'm
just
just
curious. Bored? Would you like to
Yeah.
play a game? Are you any good at dice?
I am very good at dice.
Ah, ask a Signet. Are you familiar with Fireball or Summoner? Those are my two favorite games.
I don't know either of those games.
Well, Fireball is you take 8 6-sided die. I take 8
Uh-huh.
6-sided die. I roll them, you roll them. Whoever has a higher number wins.
Okay.
Or Summoner, 8 6-sided die, you roll them, and then depending on what numbers show, that will tell you what you summon. Whoever has the highest, most powerful summon from the dice roll wins.
So it's the same game, just there's a different aspect to the second one?
Yes. Well, one is, so like in Summoner, if I have 4 6s that I roll on my dice, then I summon a red dragon. Whereas if you only have like 2 3s, then you summon a flump, and it's not very good. But if you have 3 of a kind, and I only have 2 of a kind, and I fail.
All right, let's do the first one because it sounds like you can manipulate the rules of the second one because I have no idea what I'm doing.
All right, then Fireball it is. So get together your Fireball dice, and we'll see who has the stronger die roll.
I am proficient with dice. Can I re-roll too?
I will say that you can re-roll ones.
Okay. Ooh. Okay, get the fuck out of the... Eddie.
I am still looking for one last die.
We're gonna have to do a lot of math here.
Just say whatever number comes to your head. It's fine.
Good news, I didn't roll any once.
Well, that's good. So Solana got
38.
24. You win.
Woo! What do I win?
She reaches into her pocket and pulls out a piece of candy and gives it to you.
Ah! Gwen immediately eats it.
It tastes, for those of you at home, it is candy corn.
Ah! She puts it in her mouth, starts to chew, and then her face just goes, what the fuck is that?
It's candied corn. Do you not like it?
Why would you candy corn? It's already sweet.
What? No, it could be sweeter, you know. What, are you that kind of person who's like, oh, I like eating yams because they're naturally sweet? Who's the weirdo now? I actually eat candy.
All right. I'm done talking to you.
Would you like to play again?
She walks away. She's like, I'm not gonna associate it with somebody who eats candy corn.
Gwen makes and loses friends faster than anybody I ever know.
Except for Rin Rin. No, Daza.
Cori eventually figured out that she has mirror image on this thing as well. And so she figures out how not to get hit by bolts so often.
What do I have to do to hit?
You gotta roll a d20, and then you're trying to hit a 1 through 5 to hit the real Cori. All of the other numbers will hit one of her shadow duplicates from the mirror image.
So you have to roll low to hit me.
So it's roll the 1 through 20, roll a d20 to see which one you're attacking, and then roll another d20 for the attack.
Essentially, she gets 3 duplicates, and it becomes more likely that you're going to hit the real person, but it is
I
least
consistently do not hit you.
cool.
I even had a natural 20 in there.
Nice. Training is going well. Finally.
Super Saiyan, you got some jutsu in there. Like we're just hitting all the shonen tropes.
Exactly.
It's true.
Caelum's running around the village looking for stuff. He'll occasionally stop by one of the scarecrows, look down, point to his belt, like to the scarecrow's belt, and ask if he can have it. He'll trade him like a length of rope to keep the pantaloons up.
Yeah, Scarecrow's fine with that. I mean, it's one of those things you point to the belt and he like does a little like, no, it's my shiny. And then you offer him rope and he's like, oh, okay. It just like pulls the belt off. His pants drop, but like just some hay falls out and you can see like sticks keeping him up. He hands it to you. And then when you hand him the rope, he like stuffs the hay back into the pants and then pulls the pants back up, ties the rope. It's not a very good knot, but it does the trick.
And then he'll get to work making these goggles.
Okay. Do it.
First roll of the night is a 63.
63, I believe, is a success.
Yeah, because I need to make over 50, correct?
Yeah. Okay, so that's day 1 progress. And then day 2.
And then day 2... 70.
Excellent. You have made goggles of night out of spare parts and pieces that you found lying around. So what did these goggles look like? Because they aren't going to be like the standard form looking ones by any means.
He's taken one of his glass orbs that have been blanked and split it down the middle, kind of hollowing them out so you can see a little bit out of them. He's infused them with magic so that everything has this really weird green tinge to them, but you can see in dark places. He's affixed them to a leather belt with basically spare metal that he's found lying around and the fabricate spell to fashion like little lens holders basically around the lenses he's created. So they're like these bug-eyed versions of the goggles of night.
Like actual bug where it's like the different like fly eye layers, or is it just like
it's like compound eyes dome over your
gotcha
face.
Yep. So Gwen, you have compound night vision goggles now.
Jeez, these are 1 giant and 2. Let me see this.
That's why I have the belt.
Oh shit. This is incredible.
He'll motion her into a house that's like really dark.
Oh, this is even better. Hey, your fly's undone.
He'll look down. It's not.
It was a joke, Caelum.
Oh. You want to see a practical joke?
Yes.
He let off a sacred flame in his hands.
Ah, fuck! Ow! Gwen punches him in the knee.
Ow! You asked for it!
I didn't mean on me. She like takes them off and she's like seeing stars. She runs into the door frame. Ah, fuck. Asshole.
Sorry.
Are we leaving?
And because Caelum does need to take 8 hours to work on something, if he had started early in the day, basically like right after his meditation was done, it would be close to around midday at this point, possibly a little bit later. You know that you still have some hours of daylight left, but even then, like, with the amount of mushroom cover that is being given in your general area at this point, seeing actual sunlight is very few and far between. A lot of the illumination that you're getting is actually just glowing fungus. But you guys can set out if you're ready. Solana is ready.
Let's rage. I mean, like, go. Not like rage. Sorry.
Is everyone ready?
For the most part.
All right.
Okay. And as you enter, or as you begin your travel, thankfully, as Scorchbane's presence has been noted, a lot of the snow has melted off. And Cori, you are actually more familiar with these paths and trails now that there is not a blanket of snow covering them. And this is a trail that you and your family have actually taken quite a few times when you would be in the Autumn Isles, ever so sparingly. Every once in a while, your father would have like a school chums reunion with some of the gnomes that he went to school with. As you recall, there is actually a separate university that is in Caelan's Bridge. Whereas the one in Spring is specifically for training fighters and those that aim to become Caelans. The Underbridge Academy of the Arcane and Arts, or Arts and the Arcane, is more for those who wish to become tinkerers, those who are of the more scholastic variety. You're guessing like that's where Damien went to school. This is where spellcasters would go and visit. Absolutely huge library, wonderful place, beautiful when all the snow's melted off. But I'm sure it looks just as pretty with all of the snow on it. But thankfully, you guys don't have to trudge through difficult terrain or worry about that sort of thing as you make your way down the path. And it does take several hours to actually get to this point. And as you are nearing it, having gone through a low mountain switchback, cresting over this mountain, you can see that there is this snowy, like, depression that leads off into a frigid-looking ocean that has been completely iced over. Normally, you could hear the sound of crashing waves, but it seems like even that is still in this place, as the ocean itself is no longer moving. And the two things that really strike you most about this place, as it is a more sealed-off bay, is that there are 3 stone statues, massive in size, and each one looks like an Eladrin. And you can see that one of them is wearing spring motifs. The other is wearing more of like summer style motifs, and you can see they have a gauntleted hand on their right hand as well. And then you can see standing on a center point above them is one that is in a fall motif. The most notable thing about these 3 statues is that these are Caelans. These are the Caelans, like the original ones. But winter is not here. They are missing. Everything is covered in this blanket of snow, and looking out, you could see what could be, if there were people, a very large city that you would expect to be full of commerce. From where you stand, you can see where there would be a marketplace. You can see what looks like the makings of a university, but from where you can see as well, there are what look like large footprints that have made their way through the snow. Some of these buildings look like they have had roofs just entirely torn off of them, and snow is just getting in. And as you are at this point, Solana says,
Well, welcome to Caelan's Bridge. This is the final point for fall before you can make your way to winter.
Do I know if the Winter Caelum is supposed to be here, or has it always been this way?
The Winter Caelum is not supposed to be here, for it has always been this way. The Winter Caelum statue actually is on the Isle of Winter in the town of Acheilor.
Okay.
The one town that Winter has.
All right. And you said that there seems to be large footprints around?
Yes, large footprints that have been placed through the snow. And as you all make your way into this place, you can start getting a better understanding of the size of the creature that left behind these footprints. They do seem giant size, but they aren't all like uniform. Some are missing toes, others like a foot forward and then a drag, a foot forward and then a drag. Others seem to be like foot, weird drag, and then a handprint that seems to be helping them move through the snow. And then you see some other prints as well. I'd like for everybody to make survival checks or perception checks as they enter into Caelim's bridge.
9.
23.
11.
101.
Okay. Arjhan, with your 9, you're more focusing on these really large footprints, and you're like, all right, I can check the foot patterns. There seem to be like 3 big feeties, like things that would leave tracks coming through this general area.
Might be a little lightheaded from the whole Blood Hunter thing.
Yeah, feeling a little weird on that one. But the rest of you see that there are other foot tracks as well. And there are many of them. There looks like there are maybe about over a half dozen of these other sets of tracks that are kind of going out and about. And Gwen, you especially have seen these tracks before. These look like goblin feet.
Be careful, guys. There's gobos afoot.
Are there usually goblins in the Feywild?
Yes, the Feydark is home to a variety of goblin species.
Let's see. Okay.
But yes, it seems like this area has been combed over. And Caelum, what did you roll for perception?
23.
23. So with your 23, you start noticing that these tracks are fresh.
He's going to pull out his spear and just nod his head like, get ready for a fight. These tracks seem pretty fresh.
Okay. And do you continue looking through the town?
I think Gwen's gonna try and split off from them a little bit so that she can sort of get. I'm gonna do a rogue thing that Gwen hasn't really done before, but like she's gonna split off from the group and like keep an eye on them and like that side of the group, wherever, with probably the right side that she goes off on, just to make sure nothing's coming in from that way.
Okay. Gwen, make a perception check as you split off from the group ever so slightly.
Doesn't that 20?
Womp, 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 womp. Gwen,
Thanks, D&D Beyond.
with your natural 20, you hear, and you are the only person in this entire group who can actually understand any of what is being said. Someone is speaking giant in this town.
What are they saying?
They are saying, grab the relics. Then we shall take them back to our king, and he will finally be pleased with us.
Gwen is going to. This is the first thing that jumped into my head, and it's a Gwen thought, so we'll do it. Gwen is going to jump on a something, a barrel, a box, something to make herself taller. She will rage, and yell out in giant, "Fear the tiny terror!" Ah!
Okay. And the rest of you, as you see Gwen like get this like almost roguish look on her face in a style of I am going to sneak and be so fucking stealthy it'll blow your goddamn mind. You see her shuffle off a little bit, and you're all high enough in passive perception that you watch her do this. And then she proceeds to stand onto a series of boxes and in giant yell something out into the aether. And that is
Yes,
where
that-
we are going to go into our break for the evening.
That was about the only way that could have ended.
Yeah, so we are going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes, so don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon!
Steven!
What's up?
Steven!
Ah!
I have a present for you.
You have prezzies for me?
Come here. Come here. No, you have to come here.
It's
you
dog.
You have to do the bit. Come here. Come here. Come on. Get
Oh,
up.
he's
Hold
not
on.
playing this
Hold on.
game anymore.
He's shy. Come
The
here.
worst
Come
present
on.
ever.
I had food, so he wanted the food.
Hi, Rocky!
I looked into the void and he gave me kisses.
No, sweet boy.
I love Rocky. That was a good present. Thank you. And now, yes, initiative. Well, you guys have roared off into the distance. Yeah, let's just roll initiative now. Get that out of the way.
11.
11.
8.
Oh. You're in rare form, Cori. 2.
And Gwen.
Too many tabs open. 16.
Okay. Sounds good. Boop, 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 do. Sort range. Z through A, column B.
Do.
All right. So at the top of the initiative order, Gwen, as you yell, praising yourself as the Tiny Terror, getting ready to embrace this combat that has not begun yet, you start feeling the ground shake below you, and Solana just, what the fuck was that? Why would you do that? We were trying to be stealthy. And she seems like very concerned about your methods of stealth. And it is at that point that roughly about 90 feet away from your group, you see a large purple hand that looks like the ring finger and middle finger of this hand have been fused together, grip around the side of a building and lean forward, and you can see that this figure's nose is like smushed up into its face. It has a little bit of a cleft palate as it looks towards you, and in giant just says,
"Where's the Tiny Terror?"
and as its wild eye looks towards your group, Gwen, I'm going to need you to make a charisma saving throw.
I'm in danger. Is this a frightened effect?
No.
Is this a poisoned effect?
No.
It's not within 5 feet of me?
No.
Solid.
You getting that humpback, baby.
Oh, 8.
I'm bringing ugly back.
So Gwen, you do fail. You are now going to be suffering from the curse of the evil eye once again. So you are now cursed with magical deformities. So last time I went into detail about these magical deformities. LB, what happens to Gwen on this eye. I'll put the ball in your court. She is going to have disadvantage on ability checks, saving throws, and attacks based on strength and dexterity. So, what does Gwen look like when she gets done up by this magic eye once again?
She gets gecko pads, a unicorn horn, and spikies growing out of her back.
My God, it's Gwenfris.
Kefwin.
Kefwin.
This is the funniest goddamn thing I've ever seen.
Fuck!
Gwen, you don't know how you're going to work with all of this. Now there's extra weight on your head with this horn. It's a whole mess. Your hands are like, you can't let go of things. It's the Miles Morales Spider-Man where you're just like, please just let go. It's that. So that is their Curse of the Evil Eye. That is all that they can do on this turn. Next up, your group hears what sounds like paws landing on a ceiling through the snow, and looking up on one of these buildings as it kind of comes over the top. You see that there is a hobgoblin that, or at least looks like a hobgoblin, but they have green skin. They have a spear in their hand, and they are riding on the back of what looks like a panther. If this panther had about 6 legs and tendrils extending off of its back. And there is also a small blue-skinned goblin that seems to be holding onto the waist of the hobgoblin with a small short bow. So the hobgoblin is going to rear back with their spear, and they are going to survey your group. And they are going to throw their spear towards Gwen. As Gwen, you are the least armored of all these individuals and now look absolutely terrifying. So that is a super fresh. That is a 21 to hit.
Uh-huh.
So you are going to be taking 11 points of piercing damage.
I got rage off, right?
Yep. And then the goblin is going to shoot you for a 23.
Mm-hmm.
And you are also going to be taking another 8 points of damage from that. I need you to make a Constitution save.
This against being poisoned?
It is!
Solid! The first roll was a 25, and the second roll was a 21. Con saves. I can do it all day. Gwen doesn't really get drunk.
All right, so you're going to be taking half of 10 points of poison damage.
Okay.
Excellent. So that was their turn. Next up, Gwen.
Gwen, in her tiny rage, is going to she's gonna go for the biggest target. She's gonna go after the giant.
Okay.
And she's just gonna say, in giant, I am, you gross motherfucker, let's go!
Okay.
Oh, and I'm gonna attack.
Okay, and you will have disadvantage on your attack.
Okie dokie. Alright. Come on, come on. But I will do it recklessly, so it'll be straight. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, I couldn't see you. I was like, am I muted? Alright, I'm gonna hit with the runt axe. The first one is a 14. And the second one is a 29.
Okay. So a 14 against this here creature is actually enough to hit.
Oh, solid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, re-roll the 2. That's 17 and 17.
Okay. So a total of 34.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, cool. And then as my bonus action, do you want to say I already spent my bonus action to rage, or do I get another one?
You raged before combat started.
Cool.
Yeah.
Gwen is going to I'm gonna manifest an echo. in front of the goblins, and it's going to be Salamar, and she's going to roar at them,
Okay.
try to frighten them.
Sounds good. Next up, there is again another rumbling, and this time you see also a second one of these giants that seems to make their way into the arena, as it were. This one has two very large front arms, and one of their legs is just very short and stubby in the back, and it looks like they get around by more doing like the gorilla move rather than walking on both hind legs. And as they get near, they will take a look at your group, and they are going to, let's see, they see Cori, and they do not like Eladrin, so they are going to, Cori, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Okie doke. How's an 18?
An 18 saves. But you are still going to be taking half damage. Half of 23 points of psychic damage.
Alright. Owie.
And then they are going to attempt to strike out at you with their great club. That's not going to be enough. That is a 13 to try and hit you. Doesn't do it. And then there is yet a third rumbling as you see the one that does walk on its hind legs that has more of a club foot also like rushes into combat to get near your group. And they survey the area. Caelum, I need you to make a charisma save.
16.
16. Okay. You are only going to be taking half damage from this, as they have confused you for an Eladrin. So that is also 23, so you take half of 23 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
And then they are going to try and smage you with a club. Does a 20 hit?
I will shield that.
Okay. And you see they, like, their arm recoils a little bit, and they look down in surprise. They thought that you were just going to be small, squishy, but now they know that you are a wizard. And the goblins all begin to yell, Bryark, Bryark. Do any of you speak goblin? I don't believe so. That's fine, though.
If I remember correctly, Bryark is something bad.
So then next up is another one of these hobgoblin.
Oh no, that's
You see another one of these displacer beasts with a goblin and hobgoblin on their back also appear, and they are going to be taking shots down into your group. So Arjhan, that'll miss for the first longbow attack. Second longbow attack. Just need to check to see if these guys... Nope, they only get one shot, so this would be a short bow. Does an 18 hit you, Arjhan?
Not anymore.
Oh, shit. So, yeah, they miss. So these two arrows come down towards you. They miss. Arjhan, it is now your turn. There are 3 Fomorians, one in front, one on the right, one on the left, and then on the rooftops, there is a set of Displacer Beast, Hobgoblin, Goblin, and then on another rooftop, Displacer Beast, Hobgoblin, Goblin. All of these are within your view. And to keep it simple, we'll say one of the groupings of Hobgoblin, Goblin, Displacer Beast is on the right, the other's on the left.
I'd like to Hunter's Mark of Fomorian.
Okay.
And take some shots.
Sounds good. Which one? Because there are 2 that are much closer to your group, and those are the ones that have the really big beefy arms and a small leg, or the one with the club foot.
Is there one that hasn't gone yet?
No, all 3 of them have gone.
Okay. Just one of them.
Okay. One of them has taken damage, if that helps.
Sure. Yeah, let's go with that one. $22.
A 22 hits.
32.
Also hits.
28. Okay.
And so, to put it into perspective for you, a 14 hits them.
I can't miss.
Unless you roll a nat 1, no. You're good.
That's still 14.
Yeah, that still meets.
Oh shit. Okay, hold on. 12. $32. 46 points of damage.
Holy shit. Okay.
Force.
They do not have any kind of resistance against force.
I'd like to get up in the air.
Okay.
That is my turn.
And once you are up in the air, you can see that that have not gone yet. There are 2 more of these Displacer Beast riders that seem to be making their way towards your group as well. But now that you have just dumped a bunch of shots into one of these Fomorians, these goblins are like looking at the Fomorian, looking at you, looking at the Fomorian again. You seem to have done a sizable amount of damage, and they have noticed. Next up is 2 more of these hobgoblins that come up on their Displacer Beast combos, and they are going to try and take shots towards you with their longbow. That's a 13, and then the second one gets less than that. So their arrows go towards you, but honestly, you've seen better shots from people in training. Like, you're fine on that end. Next up, Caelum.
Caelum's gonna... There are people on us, right?
Yes, there are 2 Fomorians that are directly on you.
Where's Solana in relation to me?
Solana is still relatively near you. She's maybe about 10 feet away from you because you guys were traveling as a group.
Okay. I will provoke 2 then to get away.
Okay. So these Fomorians are going to try and smage you with a club, and your shield is lowered, but I don't think that a 9 will hit you. Does 17 hit you?
17 just hits me, I believe. Yep.
Okay, so they're going to Great Club you, and that is going to be for 15 points.
He's going to get 30 feet away from Solana, turn to an undamaged Fomorian, and thinks for a moment. He draws a circle over his face with purple weave magic, and then points at them and casts Hex.
Ooh.
And I'll give them disadvantage on strength checks.
Okay. I have made a note. Do you want it on the one with the small leg and the beefy arms, or do you want it on the clubfoot?
Let's do clubfoot.
Okay. Sounds good. They are hexed.
Oh, and then here comes a firebolt on them. 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
4 plus a d6. 21 fire, 1 necrotic.
Okay. So a total of 22.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Next up are 2 more goblins that are going to try and take pot shots toward Arjhan as you are flying through to the air. God damn. These guys suck. 13 doesn't hit you. And that was the highest that was rolled between the 2 goblins. So there are more arrows just like draining your way that just do not seem to find purchase at all. The displacer beasts are going to rush up towards a more tactical area for them, also on top of the roofs. And then Cori.
Hello, that's me. Natural one on initiative. That's how it goes. I'm going to use my bonus action to summon my animated shield, and I'm going to use my action to put mirror image on myself.
Okay. Sounds good. Then next up.
Yeah, I reckon that's it.
Yep. Unless you wanted to move, provoke, any of those things. But right now you're clustered with the majority of your friends, except Gwen, who has run forward with her new visage that just seems grotesque in every sense of the word.
She'll be okay until she's not.
Okay. Next up is the last goblin who has not been able to go yet. One of these displacer beasts just has 2 goblins on it instead of a hobgoblin and a goblin rider. They are going to do their best to try and also shoot towards Arjhan. A 22 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay, I need you to make a con saving throw. As you take 8 points of piercing damage.
11.
Okay, that is a fail. So you're going to be taking the full amount of 12 points of poison.
Okay.
So a total of 20.
I'm fine.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up is the Fomorian that, Gwen, you are directly in front of. So, Gwen, I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Dirty 20. Bow, bow, bow.
Okay, so a dirty 20. That saves. You are only going to be taking half as much from this. Oh, that says D8. Okay. I've been rolling D6s. Whoopsie.
Whoopsie.
Schwhoopsie. That's fine. So, just reroll. So, you are going to be taking... Wow.
Did you say wow?
A total of 35, but then you half it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then they are going to try and strike you with their great club. And that is a 19 to hit.
It hits.
Okay, so then you are going to be taking... 13 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool, cool, cool.
And they are just trying their best to strike out towards you with their large eyes. Not doing super hot on that one. But next up is the first Hobgoblin Goblin Displacer Beast combo. And they are still going to try... Actually, they're going to try and shoot at Cori at this point. So they need to roll a d20 to see which Cori that they hit. It's an 11, so they hit a duplicate. And then let's see if it meets the AC. Does a 19 hit your AC, Cori? Or the duplicate's AC?
It does, yes.
Okay. So that duplicate goes down, and now you only have 3 duplicates left. Second is the Goblin, who's going to try and shoot. They got a 17 on the die to determine which one, which I believe is yet another duplicate. And then that is a 20 to hit. So your second duplicate also goes away, but now it is just you and one of your duplicates just hanging out in the same spot. Next up, Gwen.
Gwen is going to attack this mofo. She's gonna slide around him, and is he still low to the ground?
Yes.
Okay.
He can't not be low to the ground now that you get a good look at him.
Gross.
Yeah.
She's probably just gonna hop on his back and start trying to attack him. Recklessly. As normal. Rolling. Well, those are both above 14. One of them's a 19 and one of them's a 22.
Yeah, those will both hit.
Okie dokie. That's going to be 21 for one hit and 15 for the next.
Sorry, what were those two numbers again?
22 and 15.
Okay,
Or 21 and 15, sorry.
so a total of 36.
Correct. Do you want me to just add it up?
Yeah, just add it up. They don't have any resistances.
Okay. And then I'm going to unleash incarnation with Salamarn on the goblins that she's in front of.
Okay.
Okay, so which is just one attack. And that is a 30 to hit.
Oh yeah, do you want to hit the goblin or the hobgoblin?
The hobgoblin and max damage too. Hot damn. So that's 22.
Well, if they were a player character, they would have just instantly died, as you do twice as much as their normal, as their standard HP. So Salamarn, with this ghostly axe, just slices through them like hot knife through butter. The top half goes spiraling. The blue-skinned goblin that was behind them is just coated. And you see, like, they have this, like, wide-eyed expression of just like, what? They are not prepared. They thought they were, like, an elite group. You have proven them wrong with a ghost.
Salamar's gonna say in giant, you should have run.
She says it very confidently. So yeah, that hobgoblin is he gone, no longer there. Next up is the Fomorian with the small leggy, and they are going to try and strike out towards. They're gonna try and strike out towards this Eladrin, who is still resting here. They don't like you because you're an Eladrin. Cori, I need you to make a charisma save.
Okay. 32.
Okay, wow, that's a lot. And yes, that saves.
Yeah, last time it was a 5 on the die.
Holy shit. Okay. So you're going to be taking half of 35.
Okay.
And then they are going to try and strike you with their great club. And this time they have to try and actually hit you, which is a 5 on the dice, which I believe does strike your real form.
Yep.
And then does a modified 20 hit.
Yes.
Okay. So that is going to be for 16 points of bludgeoning damage. But you reduce 3 of that because of your heavy armor master?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. Sounds good. So that is their turn. Next up is going to be the one that has the club foot. Caelum is popped off forward. They are going to turn their ire towards Caelum. So Caelum, I need you to make a charisma save.
15?
How much?
15.
15? Okay, I believe. Yep, that succeeds. So you're going to be taking half of. Half of 17 points of psychic damage.
8. Okay.
All right, and then they're going to shuffle forward towards you, provoking an attack of opportunity from Cori. If you would like to.
That's fantastic. Striking out with the Blade of Wryth. 29 to hit.
Okay. 29 definitely hits.
Fun story, when I hit with a opportunity attack, I'm allowed to move half of my speed as a opportunistic avenger, I believe it's called. Relentless Avenger. Yeah, so I'm gonna try and block them off.
Okay.
Block off their exit. That's gonna be 15 slashing damage, and I'm gonna throw I'll say a second level smite on this.
Okay.
12 radiant damage.
Okay, so 15 and 12.
Yep.
Okay. They're not looking too great. But thankfully, they have reach enough that they are just going to reach over you and then strike out towards Caelum.
Hey!
This defeated by purpose. Caelum, does a 28 hit you?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's for a total of 18 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Okay, and that is all that they can do. Next up are Hobgoblin Goblin set. They are going to try and shoot out towards... They're going to try and shoot towards Arjhan. In the air. One of the Fomorians will call out to them. Specifically, the one that had first arrived is going to call out to them. As Arjhan, you have dealt a significant amount of damage to them. So does a 22 hit?
Yep.
All right, Arjhan, you take 6 points of piercing damage.
Gray Skull comes out of nowhere and just absorbs all of it.
He just swats it.
Yeah.
Then gives
No.
the like, It's the Jurassic Park thing. It's just
Yeah.
Okay, and then the short bow goblin misses. They are trying very hard. Their spirits are not as strong in this fight. Arjhan, it is your turn.
The Fomorian that I've Hunter's marked is still alive.
Yes. That is the one that Gwen is directly on.
Is it still alive after it takes 18 points of damage?
Yes.
What about after it takes... That's crit.
Nice.
Uh, 24 more.
No, it is not.
Bonus action, I would like to move my Hunter's Mark to another Fomorian.
Okay. The one that has moved to be up on Caelum.
Sure.
Okay. Sounds good.
And it's going to be taking 12 points. Action surge.
Okay.
Uh, 16.
Okay.
$11.
Still up.
And 12.
Okay. It is still up. It does not like the place where it has been put. It currently has a hex and a hunter's mark on it. So, you know, sitting as pretty as a Fomorian can be. But that was your action, bonus action,
And action
full round?
surge.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up, they need to make a charisma save. Make it... one of the hobgoblins is going to try and shoot you, Arjhan, but they miss, as it seems like as they go to level their shot, you can see that like their hands are a little shaky doing this. And then as they go to fire, it doesn't find purchase, and one of the other hobgoblins that is on one of these displacer beast mounts actually rears back with their reins, and they are just going to leave. They do not seem interested in this fight. They fear the Fomorians, and you guys just made really quick work out of a big one. So they are just not interested in sticking around. So that guy is going to leave with his goblin and displacer beast.
I have a question just out of curiosity. Are there any displacer beasts left that don't have any riders?
They all have riders. If anything, there is currently a displacer beast that has half of a hobgoblin and a whole goblin on it. And that's the one that Salamarn is parked next to currently. So
I just want a displacer beast, okay?
It's for me?
as a treat. Next up, Caelum.
How does this Fomorian look that's been hexed and hunter's marked?
Mechanically, he is definitely bloodied. He always looked terrible because he's a Fomorian, but
Cool.
He's not looking pretty.
I'm overcharging a Ray of Ravens for some overkill.
Okay.
24 to hit,
Yeah, that'll hit.
17 to hit.
Yep.
Another 24, 23 will hit, 27, 16,
Yeah, all those hit.
17, 25, and 19.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you.
How many dice?
Roll me a d20.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 19.
You aged 19 years. Yay!
Yay! I'm at 56 now. Connor, for you, that's 27d6 for 110.
He had 43!
Caelum will turn to the next Fomorian down and point at them and move the hex as a bonus action with a head tilt.
Okay. Sounds good. Next up, the Goblin. And this is the Goblin on the back of a Displacer Beast combo. Why are you so stupid? He rolled really well, so he is not shaken by this horrific occurrence, and he's going to try and shoot you, Caelum, with a short bow. Does a 17 hit you?
He's gonna cast shield and catch the arrow inches away from his face.
Cool. Cori, it's your turn. Caelum has just basically disintegrated the Fomorian that you were trying to protect him from, and then caught an arrow mid-air.
Yeah. Cori is just gonna shrug and be like, right. Can I possibly face step to a place where I can get as many enemies as possible in a line?
Yes, the most enemies that you would be able to get into a line would be the two goblins that didn't leave and the remaining Fomorian. So it'd be Goblin, Displacer Beast, Fomorian. There'd be 4.
I will do that. I'm lining them up for a lightning bolt.
Okay. And what does it look like when you cast Lightning Bolt for the first time?
Well, first of all, she's phase stepping, so she like armors up with her dark oak armor, and the like leaves are flying off of her, but like there's also this yellow lightning that's begun to crackle around her, and she just like oh god, anybody ever see like Avatar: The Last Airbender? I imagine it's very similar to lightning bending, where she just kind of like draws the energy out of the air. And like except she's doing it with her sword, and then she like holds it down close to her core, and as she jabs forward with like a fencer's stance, the lightning bolt just crashes through the sword.
Okay. Well, the Fomorian got a nat 20 on its dex save. The group of the others did not. The Goblin Displacer Beast combo did not fare as well.
Here comes 8d6. That's 25 lightning damage.
Okay. So that's good. Both those goblins are gone. Just not even threats anymore. And then the Displacer Beast. Boop-a-doo. Just doesn't like the fact that you've done this to it. It's still up, but it's pissed. It just got shot with a lightning bolt.
True that. And then Cori just kind of like takes a deep breath as the lightning crackles off of her, and she's still got like that crown of branches and everything, and she just like takes a ready stance.
Okay. Next up at the top of the round, the goblin that's on the displacer beast that is currently looking at Salamarn and half of a hobgoblin. They reach forward and just shove the bottom half of the hobgoblin in front of them off, saddle up forward a little bit and grab the reins of the displacer beast, pull back, and they are also going to use the disengage option to just go. They don't want anything to do with this.
Good choice.
They are witnessing an Eladrin shooting lightning, a weird lizard creature summoning ghosts. There's a dragon man in the air, and then whatever the fuck Caelum's doing, this goblin does not have the hit points or the spoons to deal with any of this. He's fucking gone.
I was like, how is Arjhan summoning ghosts? I thought he didn't. Oh, wait, that's me.
The one necromancer that is not in the group, Arjhan, is summoning ghosts. No. So these bros are out of combat. Gwen, the Fomorian that you were fighting, has fallen in front of you. There is now one Fomorian left, and then one hobgoblin-goblin combo, and then a hobgoblin on a displacer beast that seems to have lost his goblin along the way.
Okay, does it seem like my friends have the other guy handled?
It seems like he's pretty, he's doing okay. You've just, they're your friends. It's entirely up to you. You have watched them kill Archfey with less weapons on hand.
Cool. Okay, how far away is the one hobgoblin on the displacer beast?
I'll say that he's 30 feet away on top of a building.
On top of a building?
Yeah.
Okay, Gwen's gonna move Salamarn up there. Use my... Wait, is that my bonus action to move it? Hold on. Pause. As a bonus action, you can teleport. On your turn, you can mentally command each echo to move up to 30 feet in any direction. No action required. Okay, so I'm going to move Salamarn up there, and then Gwen is going to teleport and switch places with Salamarn, and she is going to drop kick the goblin off the displacer beast. My goal is to land on the displacer beast.
Make an attack roll.
Okay. Recklessly. 22.
Oh yeah, you for sure. You have more strength. You could lift 10 goblins.
Yeah.
You are horse kicking one of them off the place that you want to be. They're gone. They go fucking soaring. This is when the anime protag gets their power up and then a bunch of shitty bandits try and fuck with them. That's you right now. Just get out of here. Make a even though the displacer beast is a monstrosity, make an animal handling check.
Boy, horse whisper, Gwen, let's go. 4.
So as you go to land on this creature, it's a displacer beast. As you go to land, it just seems to shift, and you land on the roof right next to it, and it just looks at you and looks kind of peeved. You don't smell like the person that was riding it. If anything, the person that's riding it is over there pissing himself.
All right.
Okay.
That's my turn.
Sounds good. It is next up with the last remaining Fomorian, and they see everything that's going on. They are going to yell something in Goblin, and they are going to disengage and start trying to also distance themselves. The one word that you do make out is Caelum, and again, they're just trying to run away. Next up is going to be Hobgoblin Goblin Displacer Beast. They are also going to beat feet and get the fuck out of dodge. Next up is Arjhan.
It's for me.
It's for you.
Bonus action, I'd like to move Hunter Smart.
Yep. He murked.
No crits, unfortunately. Uh, 13,
Okay.
16,
Okay.
13.
Gotcha. So, and then they are still up, but they definitely look bloodied at this point as they are beginning to shamble away. And this is actually the one with the small leg. So they are just 2 fists forward, pull, vault, and it looks more like they are like hop jumping away from you as you feel the earth just sort of like shake underneath you at each one of these leaps that they do. Next up, that guy got kicked off of his Displacer Beast. So they are going to come up towards you, Gwen, and you see they have I believe it's a long sword. Yeah, it is a long sword. But they are going to hop onto the back of the Displacer Beast. And like they squeeze their legs together, they say something in Goblinoid, and then they are going to try and escape. But he did not get lucky enough that his Displacer Beast moves directly after he does. So Caelum, you actually get a go before the Displacer Beast is able to leave with this Hobgoblin.
How far? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You just see Gwen go, Jeffrey, no!
Caelum will look over to Arjhan, Draconic, points over to the fleeing Fomorian, thumb over throat. He's going to Blessing of the Raven Queen. He's going to run 30 feet forward, Blessing of the Raven Queen 60, and at the tail end of his flight, he casts Polymorph on himself.
All right, what you turning into, buddy?
I'm taking the statistics of a giant ape.
What does it look like when you take on the stats of a giant ape?
Could I make an athletics check to tackle the Fomorian? As Caelum comes out of flight, he grows to a huge size, skin blackening as feathers start to sprout. His face becomes more raven-like with a beak, and you hear a as a third eye opens on his head.
Oh, shit. Yeah. You can totally do that. Make an athletics check.
What are you? +9.
Have to find the 3-eyed crow.
That is a 24.
Okay. This creature's strength is actually not enough to fight off that 24, so they just start shrieking. You've never heard a giant shriek before. It's rather unsettling. I will leave it to your imagination.
With a really guttural crow cry.
Okay. He's spooked.
Grappling.
You know who else is spooked? Jeffrey the Displacer Beast. Jeffrey the Displacer Beast and that Hobgoblin. So fast. Moving on out of there. Gwen, you can take an attack of opportunity if you'd like.
Ben's too upset.
That's fair. There is a Hobgoblin that you could attack, but that's okay.
Could you grapple?
I would allow you to grapple the Displacer Beast as a reaction if you would like.
I feel like Gwen's just gonna let it go.
You and I are friends now.
Yeah, no, I was like, I've learned at a young age, you don't just hold animals, they don't become your friends. That's not how it works.
Okay. Yeah, so Jeffrey the Displacer Beast and the Hobgoblin, they're gone. They don't want anything to do with this anymore. So they begin rushing away as well. At this point, the only creature that is still in combat is the Fomorian that big, scary raven monster Caelum is currently grappling. Cori, it's your turn.
All right. How far was it able to get?
Caelum went like 90 feet to get to this thing.
I see. Do you think it'd be possible for me to line up another lightning bolt without hitting Caelum?
Caelum is currently grappled this thing, so you would not be able to. You'd have to blast him.
Caelum's got this. Cori's going to stand her ground.
Okay. So the next up, Gwen. Gwen, you're, I'm assuming, feeling sad about this displacer beast named Jeffrey leaving you.
Fuck! One's gonna dive bomb the big bad.
Okay.
The other asshole. Recklessly.
Okay,
She's
so
gonna do-
he is 90 feet away from you. Because he was in the process of
yeah.
running.
Oh, he is?
He was, but then Caelum turned into a giant bird monster and tackled him.
So Caelum's on top of him?
Yes. Do with that as you will, fan artists.
I am going to... Can I throw the Sunforger past him?
Yeah.
And explode it? Okay. And not hit Caelum?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I would like him to make a dex save, please.
All right. He fails.
Like Thor's hammer flying through the sky, Gwen just hooks this thing forward. And it always flies straight. It doesn't actually... Holy shit. It doesn't actually, like... spin when she throws it. That's only 17.
Okay.
That was a holy shit. I rolled very poorly.
Gotcha. Sounds good. They are still up, still screaming. A hammer is exploded by them.
Yeah. I'll switch places with Salamarn again and be on the ground, kind of like shuffling over. Like doing that like jog but not a jog.
Okay, sounds good. So Caelum, you have grappled this creature, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they are going to use their action to try and break the grapple. Just screaming the entire time, just like just like the most unceremonious giant you have ever seen. You haven't seen very many giants, most of them Fomorians, but this one in particular is not living up to your expectations. That's a natural one.
24.
Yep, just see, there's like a little bit of snot coming out of their nose. They're scared. Arjhan, it's your turn. Caelum, as a giant bird monster, has grappled this creature.
Is that imposing disadvantage or any penalties?
No.
Movement speed is 0.
Yeah, they just can't move.
17 points.
Okay. Still up.
16 points.
Still up.
11 points.
Okay. They take this mad peppering of damage as you just brat into them with your force damage crossbow. Are you getting any closer, or are you standing your ground?
No, I'm getting closer.
Okay, sounds good. So you are making your way there as well. Next up in the initiative order is Caelum.
Yep. I've got multi-attack, so this is going to be fun. Does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
21 points of damage.
Okay, Caelum, what do you do to halt this Fomorian screaming?
The Fomorian breaks free and tries to scramble away, but Caelum drops down to all fours, grabs its foot and drags it back, flips him over, and does a MMA ground and pound.
Just the double fist onto its chest.
Dolphus chest, head. It stops moving. There is a sonorous war cry that probably echoes throughout the forest.
Okay. And as you do this, there is like a small crater that has been formed under this Fomorian from the force of your double ground pound. But you guys are now no longer in initiative, as you have killed or chased away all the threats in this general area.
Why did we do that?
Yeah, Cori like takes a deep breath and sighs, and her armor like dissipates in a flurry of leaves, and she says, "Well, I think they know we're here now."
And you see a door to a building open, and Solana peeks her head out and just, "What is wrong with all of you? I thought that we were going to go in stealthy, and then you started yelling, and then there were so many creatures."
Unfortunately, when we say that we're going to go in stealthy, we mean for as long as possible until there's a fight, and then we're not going to be stealthy anymore.
Well, I can see that. You are very loud going through here.
Sorry. They said something about relics, that they were supposed to get the relics and take them back. I thought they meant like us, so I thought we attacked them first.
Are you relics?
Well, I mean, Cori has a relic, right?
Do I know what they could possibly mean by relics?
Make a history check.
Sorry, it was almost a 3, and then it dropped to 16. Once again, Cori knows about the Feywild.
Okay, Cori, you know that at Underbridge Academy of Arts and Arcana, it was a repository, almost like a museum of old relics from the early days of the Feywild. You know that it did house some Fomorian relics as well as Eladrin relics on top of, well, just things of import that have been found throughout the ages. So you're guessing that when they were saying grab the relics, it was possibly about the museum.
I see. Are those things that we're going to want?
Well,
Or
you
are
have
those
3
things that they-
Fomorian corpses on you, so you can kind of sift around their belongings to see what they were looking for.
All right, I'll do that. On the other hand, Gwen has been Fomorianed again. Is there anything that I can do about that?
Yes, as a
is
level
evil-
14 paladin.
Is evil eye considered a spell?
It is not considered a spell, but it is a magical effect.
All right. Gwen, come here.
What?
Cori's just kind of gonna grab her by either side of her face, and then she's just gonna like put a finger on top of that horn and like poke it back into her head, and then just like rub her hands together and like just sort of like, and then like pull the scales off, and then like sort of like start patting her on the back and like brushing the spikes off of her back as though she's just trying to get snow off her cloak.
Oh man. I mean,
as
I didn't
use my cleansing touch.
know. Well, thank you. I don't know if it's because I had like scales, but I feel like my hands are a lot softer now. They're
do-
normally really calloused.
I did get a little moisture, or rather a little bit of lotion on my hands earlier, and I overdid it just a bit, so yeah, thank you for helping me out with that.
Oh.
There is a...
Caelum.
As Caelum's
Arjhan.
dragging back the Fomorian corpse.
How big is he?
Huge.
Oh god.
Ugh, gross.
Caelum is a giant 3-eyed raven monster.
Can you not be that anymore?
Cori's gonna like gesture him to come over to her as well.
Arjhan, your hands are perfectly smooth. They were geckos. It was like super sticky. I like holding your hand.
Giant bird face lowers down to Cori's level.
Cori just like puts a hand on his beak the same way that she would like on Ampleforth or something like that. And like his feathers just start flying off of him like in a Miyazaki movie.
I could just
and
drop this concentration spell. What are you doing?
I'm flexing, bro. And then Like when all of the feathers have flown away, it's just Caelum standing there again.
Hikes the spear over his shoulder, turns to Gwen. Let's not do that again.
Sorry, I got a little excited.
As we want to do. But let's try and see what these things were after. And she will loot the corpses.
Okay. Are you all looting corpses? Just Cori? Yep. Solana is already, like, started digging through stuff as well. As you are looking through, you all find, between the giants, each one had grabbed, the first one grabbed a painting, several urns, and what looks like an ornate timepiece that are each roughly valued at around 250 gold pieces. The second one also grabbed like 3 to 4 more urns, also valued at 250 gold pieces. And the third one also grabbed some urns, but these ones it fell on top of / Caelum smashed it into the ground, and these urns are now, if you mended them, about 3 urns worth 250 gold pieces.
So, like, we should return these, right?
Oh, yes, certainly. Belongs in a museum.
Ellen's mending an urn, sighs.
The other thing of note that you find on each of these Fomorians is a rolled up piece of paper. And when you unroll the parchment, looking inside, there is the depiction of an urn. But this urn in particular looks like it has an image of Coralon on it. And Coralon has a hand reaching out to what looks to be a deer, a bird, a cat, and a fox. And they all stand opposed to Coralon, who has his hand out towards them.
I'm sorry, is this Coralon taming the Greater Fae?
It looks like that is the image that these parchments were looking for.
It's been here all along.
You didn't go to the right school.
Man, don't you feel silly now?
Ah! It doesn't say how he did it, it's just showing that he is doing it.
Yeah.
Ori, are you okay? You have like a vein popping out on your forehead.
What? No, it's fine. It looks like that they were after this thing, but they didn't actually find it. And she like flips over the paper.
A piece of paper?
No, not the piece of paper. What's on the piece of paper, Gwen?
Another urn?
Writing?
Not just the urn. What's on the urn that's on the piece of paper?
I'm confused.
A dude and some animals.
This is Coralon taming the Greater Fae.
Oh,
On the piece
that
of
would seem
paper?
more significant.
Why are Fomorians trying to find something like that? Are they trying to stop winter?
They trying to tame the primordial fae? For their own usages?
I guess we wouldn't know without asking someone. Like, Caelum, do you know Speak with Dead?
No.
Is Coralon dead?
No. He's a god.
Well,
Gods
I
don't
wouldn't be
just
able to
die.
understand any of the Fomorians anyway. They all speak giant.
I would. Wait, you've been learning giant?
We've been over this. It's not the same.
If there was one that was still asleep, I might be able to influence it one way or the other. But these look like they've been put into a longer sleep than I am capable of dealing with.
A big sleep.
The big sleep.
The biggest long rest you can take.
Arjhan, I have no idea what's going on. What are they after?
It's historical artifacts. that have to do with the taming of the Fae, I guess, or depictions of it?
Magical Fae? Magical artifact?
It could be.
I don't know.
The fact that they didn't find it implies that it's still at the university.
Do we want to go to the university?
Stop.
My curiosity is piqued. It could be important. And for that matter, we haven't found out how to tame the winter fae yet.
True. True. This could tell us how to do that. Let's go to a fucking no. Positivity. Let's go to the library.
We're going
Yes,
to a
Gwen.
magic school.
To the library.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Wait. So we've had friendly mushrooms, giant mushy friends, and we're going to the library?
And I was just lightning bending earlier, man.
Would you believe I've never seen Avatar: The Last Airbender all the way through?
I had to tame all 4 seasons.
Never
oh my
seen
god. Damn.
Cori's been an Avatar analogy this entire time.
If only I knew what that meant. All right, so you guys are going to be heading off towards the library, thankfully. Solana knows where it is. Cori, you know where it is. It is through the Garden of Commerce, which is a general open marketplace. And as you are making your way there, you pass by a number of shops and buildings that also look like windows have been broken in, doors have been busted in. It looks like there have been raids on Caelim's bridge. Now that there aren't any individuals living here, it seems like the Fomorians have kind of been making a point to kind of come up and pilfer as much and as often as they can, looking for these specific things. And once you reach the Underbridge Academy of Arts and Arcana, you see that there is a huge section of this otherwise grandiose university that looks like it has been busted in or at least torn away. The Fomorians don't really care about Eladrin architecture, so they were just doing what they could to try and rifle their way in. And as you are getting to this point, you do see the insides of what looks like a incredible library, but there are books that have just been kind of left face down, spines broken. Others have just sort of been tossed haphazardly. Pages are strewn about. And many of these nice glass containers that once housed relics have all been just shattered and gone. And looking around, you aren't able to see... You're able to see that most things have not been left. Most things have been touched here. Nothing has been left untouched.
Arjhan just puts the urns, like, just around, just so that they're back in here.
It's like tuck them in a corner. Yeah.
Who is supposed to be watching this place?
Well, normally it would be the librarian who would be looking over the library, but with winter coming around, most people just left. No, it's better to keep yourself safe than it is all of these things.
Things can be replaced. People cannot.
Yeah.
Cori's going to look down at the piece of paper with the urn on it. And she's going to study it as closely as she can, and then she's going to cast Locate Object.
Okay. And when you cast Locate Object, nothing fires.
Okay. She just kind of looks around, trying to attune herself to the magics of the current place, and she just turns around and she says, "It's not here."
It might have been one of those other smaller ones that was able to make the getaway. They might have had it.
That seems likely. Well, we're going to be going under anyway. I have a feeling that we're going to find the answer to this mystery, whether we like it or not.
Do we want to take a quick breather here?
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Caelum is going to pull out some incense and start casting a ritual. He's gonna cast Legend Lore, describing the urn in detail.
Okay. So describing the urn in detail for legend lore. Can you read legend lore to me so the rest of the class can know?
Name or describe a person, place, or object. The spell brings to your mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing you named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If the thing you named isn't of legendary importance, you gain no information. The more information you already have about the thing, the more precise and detailed the information you received is. The information you learn is accurate, but might be couched in figurative language. For example, if you have a mysterious magic axe on hand, the spell might yield this information as, "Woe to the evildoer whose hand touches the axe, for even the haft slices the hands of the evil ones." And then it's just a description of, like, the axe.
Gotcha. So the lore for this urn is it is not actually an elven urn. It is of giant make. The urn, however, was given as a gift to a elf of renown during the early ages, basically pre-Isles as we know them. And it was this elf of renown who then used this urn to house the greater primordial spirits temporarily while he was able to manifest them into the rings. Make a Arcana check.
27.
With a 27, the way that this comes off from your legend lore spell and your familiarity with other such objects, this sounds like a predecessor to an iron flask. So it was something that could house the primordial fae temporarily, but it wasn't a permanent housing.
Caelum will poke his head back into the room. We could use the urn.
How do you mean?
Well, the urn itself is a predecessor to an iron flask. Corlon used it to house the souls of the primordials as rings were being made. So if we can seal the soul of your winter primordial, wouldn't Cypress lose his powers?
It's so simple.
Assuming you can separate it from the ring.
True.
I did have the iron flask for a while, but I'm not sure if it had the power to do that.
Maybe if we get this urn back, I can take some time to study it.
The urn might be more specialized in that case.
Oh, also, the urn is giant in make. It isn't necessarily elven.
Oh,
Intriguing.
That makes sense. Giants are old. So familiar with old magic.
Are there giants besides Fomorians here in the Feywild?
I don't believe so. I haven't seen any of them. Maybe if you go down deep enough, you can find some. But most giants here, well, like the ones that are lying dead in the streets outside.
Fomorians weren't always the way that they are. They used to be quite beautiful.
Is it a whole cursed by the gods because of their hubris sort of dealy?
Something like that, if I remember correctly.
cloud giants aren't here, right?
No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, good. Gwen kind of like stares off into the middle distance with her eyes wide.
Okay, Gwen, the cloud giants can't hurt you here.
Oh no.
I've seen a lot of shit, man.
Okay.
So what are we doing next?
Well, you said we are going to be, after this little rest, we're going to be going to the Feydark. At least show you the way.
Right.
I've
How
never
far long
actually
is it?
been there myself, so I don't know how good of a guide I could be.
How long is it gonna take us to get there?
From where we are, probably maybe about hour, 2 hours. It's getting pretty
Okay.
late, though.
Yeah. Gwen is going to sit down while everyone discusses and talks. She starts like meditating, and then you guys kind of see her head lull as she like goes into the spirit world. And she's gonna cast Augury, which she can do now.
Hey, hey.
That's pretty handy.
Thanks. So do you know the spell?
I do not. Read it for the class.
Oh boy, okay. It takes a minute to cast. It's instantaneous. By casting, well, basically you're supposed to like roll bones, but I assume it's her talking to Grey Skull and Salamarn. You receive an omen from an otherworldly entity about the results of a specific course of action that you plan to take within the next 30 minutes. The DM chooses from the following possible omens. Wheel for good results, woe for bad results, wheel and woe for both good and bad results, and nothing. So, like, nothing good or bad is going to happen. The spell doesn't take into account the possible circumstances that might change the outcome, such as casting additional spells or a loss or gain of a companion. Yeah. I'll post it in For Keeps, too.
Okay.
So basically, if we continue on this road, are we going to be fine for the next half hour? Is there something bad that we're going to run into?
So you want to know if traveling down the path to the entrance to the Feydark would
Yeah.
be good or bad?
Right now.
If you left right now, nothing.
Cool. Gwen just like after a minute, she like like looks up and like looks around. Yeah, I think we should go now.
Okay.
Did you nod off? Did you fall asleep? What was that?
No, I just had a chat with some of my friends. My
She does
friends
that
on the other
sometimes.
side.
Oh,
She
no.
does have friends on the other side.
You're a necromancer?
No,
Would you like to
no.
join a coven? We're looking for a third.
I can't cast spells.
Okay, okay. What would you like to cast spells?
No, I'm pretty good at hitting things. Can I be in your coven and just hit things?
No, it's not really how that works.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's all right. It's
Caelum
all right.
just
Spells
pokes his head
understand.
from the side of a door. I mean, motions to himself.
You want me to be in your coven, Caelum?
Can you cast spells?
That's what I asked. She said no.
What? I mean, you said the whole summoning spirits thing isn't a spell, so no. I don't know. I can sometimes see the future. Well, I can sometimes see places that I can sometimes see places I've been before too. I can send Grayskull there, and he can like look for me.
Wait,
And I
seeing
can-
places you've been before, like you can remember things?
No, like I can see them. What's going on now?
Oh, like a scry.
Kinda. Wait, I don't know what that is. What?
We'll consider it. Solana, put it on the docket.
All right, adding it to the docket.
Click.
There's the docket. All right, let's go.
All right. Grabbing
Gwen
any
starts
books or anything
chomping.
like that as you're making your way out?
Cori lets me.
It's fine.
Caleb just walks up to a shelf. He asks for the bag of holding real quick.
Okay.
You are planning on returning these, right?
This is the library.
It is. I don't think my Feywild library card ever came in the mail, Caleb says as he walks off.
I mean, we'll have time to read under.
I'll pull some strings. We can get one added to you in, submitted to you in referendum. What do you call it when you do something after you've like asking for forgiveness? Not yes, retroactively. Thank you. Sorry, sometimes just vocabulary. There.
All right. And as you guys are like getting some books, getting all your stuff, setting out from this university, you see Solana just like, I don't have a library card, I don't care. She's just gonna like grab one, stuff it into her robes, and then just continue walking with you guys as well. She just wanted to steal.
Okay.
Yeah, that was it. And as she is following after you guys in an almost like, hey, wait up for me, that is where we will call it for tonight's session. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by and join us for this wonderful game. I always enjoy Four Keeps saying, hey guys, we just got done with Winter Part 1. It's a great time. And speaking of great times, hey RJ, where can we find you? What do you do?
Hey everybody, I'm RJ, but you can catch me at RJustice282 on Twitter and Twitch, where I sometimes stream Dead by Daylight and Rogue Company and other things with my friends. Sometimes tweeting about nerdy things in my life. You can catch me here on Sundays in our Tomb of Annihilation game as Wally the Shifter Fighter Barbarian. Of course, Caelum on Mondays in our homebrew campaign. This week, no Elegant Suffering, but on Saturday over at G Game Nights, I play Fang, who is a fighty boy in our Overarms campaign, FENG. Yeah, it's called Star Power. It's a good time. There are bees. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm LBHackEmUp. You can find me at LBHackEmUp on the Twitters and the Twitches. Tomorrow, I'm going to be streaming on my own channel at 4 o'clock p.m. with my mom. We're going to be doing some painting, so it's going to be super cute. And then after that, you can find me on G Game Nights. We are also playing in an Overarms game. I play a character called Lonnie, who her anima is literally depression. But she does really well with it because she's just showing people how to like. It's fine. So on Wednesday you can find me on Nerdiversion's channel. We'll do around 7 parts. On Thursday you can find me on my channel again. Lauren and I are gonna play some games. Maybe Phasmophobia. Maybe we're gonna play Dead by Daylight. But we're probably gonna be playing it with Barry. So it's gonna be fun. Yay! That's it. DanaeKeener.com, sorry.
Hoi! I'm Cyber. You can find most of my stuff at cyberwolf1201.live. Links to everything on my Twitch. On Saturday, we're going to be playing Pokemon. Not like story stuff, just some like tournament grinding Dynamax adventures, you know, just some chill Pokemon times. I'm sure it'll be fun. Yeah. Jabroni TV has lots of cool stuff going on right now. They got Phasmophobia content, but it's also The Office kind of. Check that out. I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm very excited to. Lots of cool streamers doing cool stuff there. What RPG stuff is happening? So I'm here. I'm going to be here on... I hope that we're going to be here on Thursday. Maybe. It's been a minute. Man, it's great to have a Halloween episode in a couple weeks after Halloween. But, you know, 2020. Yeah, on Tuesday the 17th, I'm going to be on High Shelf Gaming playing Werewolf, and it's going to be a fun time. And we should have our last party member joining, our last pack member joining. Woo. DanaeKeener.com.
Hey everybody, I'm Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. I do nerdy drawings, mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I play as Cori under the Arjhan Paladin on Mondays during our Four Keeps game, and on Sundays I'm right here playing as Baz, the Drow Rogue Fighter, during our Doom of Annihilation game. And on Saturday I'm going to be over at Game Nights with RJ playing as Vivian Coyle, and it's about bees for her, and she's also on roller skates, and she's a lot of fun. DanaeKeener.com.
And if you've made it this far, you probably already know who I am. But if you don't, hey Acorns, what's up? It's me, your buddy, your pal, your friend, the Indoor Adventurer, the showrunner here at twitch.tv/Indoor Adventures. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/Indoor Adventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point. We got full playthroughs of Curse of Strahd, Ghosts of Saltmarsh, Waterdeep, Dragon Heist, and soon to be Tomb of Annihilation as well. But if audiocasts are more your thing, you can also check us out wherever audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from the community, but also from each other. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, consider joining us on our Discord, going questions for the courts, asking it there, and we will do our best to respond in kind. And with that, I would like to say thank you to everybody who decided to stop by. Thank you to these players for putting up with my bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!